Ethiopia is currently living in the year 2018. Not a typo, not a joke. While the rest of the planet marked 2026 back in January, Ethiopians were still finishing out 2018 and won't cross into 2019 until September. This isn't a glitch or a backward country clinging to an old system. It's one of the last places on Earth where an entire nation quietly refused to accept the version of time the rest of the world agreed on. And the reason goes back over 1,500 years to a theological argument nobody else wanted to have. Here's the split. In the 6th century, a monk named Dionysius Exiguus calculated the birth year of Jesus Christ for the Roman Catholic Church, and that calculation became the backbone of the Gregorian calendar used almost everywhere today. But the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, one of the oldest Christian institutions on the planet, did its own math using older Alexandrian and Coptic sources, and came up with a date roughly 7 to 8 years later. Rome went one direction, Ethiopia went another. Neither side blinked, and the gap has never closed. So the Ethiopian calendar runs 7-8 years behind the Gregorian one, permanently, by design. It also has 13 months, 12 of 30 days each, followed by a short 13th month of 5 or 6 days depending on leap years. Tourism campaigns actually market this. 13 months of sunshine, they call it, turning a calendar quirk into a national slogan. But the strangeness doesn't stop at the year. Ethiopia also runs on a completely different clock. In most of the world, the day starts at midnight. In Ethiopia, the day starts at sunrise, around 6 a.m. local time, because that's when the Amharic day genuinely begins, tied to actual daylight rather than an arbitrary midnight marker inherited from Roman timekeeping. So what a foreigner calls 7 a.m., an Ethiopian calls 1 o'clock. Noon for the rest of the world is 6 o'clock in Ethiopian time. It's not confusion, it's a completely separate internal logic consistently applied that has functioned for centuries without needing to sync with anyone else's clock. This creates real, everyday collisions. Flights are booked using the Gregorian calendar for international travel, but Ethiopian time domestically. Government documents, birth certificates, and passports often carry both dates side by side. Ethiopian New Year, Enkutatash, falls in September, not January, and it's tied to the end of the rainy season, when fields turn yellow with mescal daisies and families gather to mark the start of the year the way their ancestors did, uninterrupted by colonization, because Ethiopia is the only African nation that was never formally colonized. That single historical fact is the thread running underneath all of it. No colonial power ever forced Addis Ababa to adopt Greenwich Mean Time or the Gregorian calendar wholesale, so Ethiopia simply never fully did. Which means somewhere in Addis Ababa right now, someone is waking up on a September morning in the year 2018, checking a clock that reads an hour foreigners would call 1 a.m., living inside a version of time that the rest of the planet abandoned centuries ago. Not out of ignorance, but because they were never asked to give it up in the first place.